Hey, konnichiwa minasan, it's Gray from Wakizashi's Teahouse over in Japan. How are you doing? You good? Are you Genki? Are you still watching the sumo? I couldn't watch it this evening because I've been busy on this review. But anyway, let me get on with it. This is my review of Amazing Spider-Man issue 34. It came out today, Wednesday, September 20th. It's still priced at $3.99, just about. More on that later at the end of the video. The cover is by John Romita Jr. and I think it's got inks by maybe Scott Hanna. What do you think of the cover? Does it give it away? What's going to happen in this issue? Although, maybe we don't actually see this yet, but I'm going to shock a few people now. This could be a hot take. I know, but you know me. I always try and look on the positives. I focus on the positives. I'm honest. I tell you how I felt about a comic book. This, for me, is probably the best issue that Zeb Wells has written since the very early few Tombstone issues. So yeah, I think I enjoyed this the most. Seriously, I know. I can feel you like throwing things at me, but come on, I've got to be honest. And I'll tell you why in my review, and especially during the story summary, I'll show you what I really liked about it. For one thing, it's got great art by Patrick Gleason again. He's drawing the black Spider-Man suit. Oh my God, how I love this suit. How I wish it would stay. But yeah, you know, it probably won't. We see Peter almost unleashed in this. We see payback against, the people who've hurt him over the years. Not all, just a few, but yeah, I was almost like screaming for more. I was cheering him on from the sidelines here, like, come on, go for it, do it. Yeah, I actually got caught up in the story. I really did. So, as I say, I do recommend it, even though it is the 34th issue of Zeb Wells' run, and half of this run, or even more than half of this run, has kind of drove me crazy. But again, focusing on positives. Now, before I jump into the story summary, and I won't spoil the end as usual. I'll stop around the 3 or 4 pages to go on a great cliffhanger, by the way. But just let me read from my WordPress review, which I do actually write some text reviews, not very many because it takes a lot of time. But this is my conclusion to the review, so just bear with me while I read. It's only short, don't worry. So Gray's closing thoughts on Amazing Spider-Man issue 34. I think this is an issue that everyone will enjoy, even the readers who hate Wells' current run. We get to see a dark and dangerous Spider-Man, free of morals or consequences, delivering doses of cathartic payback to some of the people who've hurt him over the years. I found myself almost cheering him on as I read. Wait a minute, I just said that before. Gleason's art delivers some memorable panels and pages, and Spidey looks awesome in the black costume. I, for one, am glad it's back, and I hope it stays for a long time. So there we go. I'm giving this a Wakizashi 8 out of 10. Yes, 8 out of 10 for an issue of Amazing Spider-Man. Unbelievable, right? Especially the Zeb Wells run. Anyway, sorry for blabbering on. Without further ado, here is my story summary. Please keep watching. At the end of last issue, we saw black costume Spider-Man burying Kraven the Hunter. A late revenge for what happened to Peter in the classic Kraven's Last Hunt story arc. Will Spidey leave the rogue to rot in his grave? Let's find out. We open with Randy Robertson visiting his fiancée Janice and her injured father Tombstone in the hospital. Remember the wedding that wasn't? Well, Janice is angry at Randy's neglect. How do you think I'm doing? My dad got shot at my wedding, and the man I was supposed to marry has ignored me ever since. Randy's trying to explain why he hasn't visited her sooner when they're interrupted by an alarm from Tombstone's room. Someone has unplugged the villain's life support. We see Randy walking towards the window. Then, as Randy looks out, he sees a cackling black-clad figure swinging away in the distance. It's a really impressive page by Patrick Gleason with a bolt of lightning ripping down through the middle, through the dark sky. Okay, let's read the recap. Kraven the Hunter and Queen Goblin teamed up to return Norman Osborn's sins to him. After mystically imbuing the sins into a spear, I know right, don't ask, Kraven set forth to hunt down the reformed villain. His carefully laid plans went awry when Spider-Man took the spear hit in Norman's stead. Now, with the Green Goblin's sins coursing through his body, Spider-Man has started out on a dark path against all those who have slighted him. His first target was Kraven, whom he brutally beat into submission before burying alive like the Hunter did to him so long ago. With the taste of vengeance on his lips, there's bound to be plenty more people out there who can satiate Spider-Man's new violent appetite. The scene switches to Kraven trapped in a coffin, and we hear his panicky thoughts. Spider-Man buried Kraven with his rifle, offering the hunter a quick exit if he so desires. It's a dark move by the web-slinger and an indicator of how much the Goblin's power is coursing through his body. Will we see Peter go full evil before the issue's out? Norman Osborn goes to warn Mary Jane and Paul about Peter's warped condition. He advises them to leave town before it's too late, sure that Peter will be coming for Paul. Now, I can really, truly imagine how many fans would dearly love to see that deliriously desired payoff. Yes, I'm one of them, but no spoilers from me here. Paul's saying they can take the bridge, it'll be faster at this time of night, but Norman replies, "Trust me, take the tunnel." We then see Norman back at his apartment where someone has been hiding in the shadows, waiting for him. This leads to one of my favourite panels in the comic. Here we go. Just look at that expression on Norman's face and the sheer size of Peter's body behind him. It's a great, great panel. Black spider suit, how do I love thee? Let me count the ways. Seriously, I'm so happy to see this back, and I hope it stays, but I don't think it will. Next, we get this great dual scene on one page. Just let me take you through it. We've got Spider-Man and Norman. Spidey's saying, "Do you know why I tolerate your existence, Norman?" "Peter, stop." Then we see Kraven in his coffin, kicking against the walls of it. Back to Peter. "I didn't realise it until my mind caught fire." Then we see Kraven crack open the coffin and soil starts to come in. Spider-Man. "It's because I know someday you'll show your true colours again." Kraven's starting to really panic now. "See what you've done!" And here's one of the payoffs I was talking about earlier. Look at this, what a panel, this top panel. We see Peter in the black Spidey suit picking up Norman. His strength is showing through here. He's saying, "I'll get a chance to do what I should have done years ago." "Peter, please, I'm your friend." Then he smacks Norman across the room. Norman grabs part of Peter's mask, ripping it off. And we see a furious Peter Parker screaming at him, "Do you think I forgot what you did?" Gotta tell you, I'm enjoying this. "What mercy did you show Gwen?" Smack. He's beating Norman to a pulp here. We see, it's a bit ridiculous actually, over the top, blood splashing everywhere. He's almost out of breath here. But no, he's waiting for Norman to say something. And there's a great line from Norman here. He's saying I showed her no mercy and I live in hell because of it. Don't let him do this to you, Peter. And then we briefly see the Green Goblin's face in the bottom panel. Just let me show one more page because I don't want to spoil the ending for you. But here we get this great image of Goblin Queen, Queen Goblin. Look at her sitting on the throne there. She's talking about the definition of insanity and how she, of all people, should know it. Every mirror in the house showed her the same thing. Norman's sins may be gone, but she is still the queen. The ceremony went wrong and Kraven now pays the price. Does she feel guilty? Or is she desperately trying to believe that she's changed? Only one way to find out. Okay, let me finish on this page. Leaving you hanging, I'm sorry, I know it's a bit of a cliffhanger, but we see Paul and Mary Jane, they're stuck in traffic jam in the tunnel. "I knew we should have taken the bridge." Then we hear something booming. The booming is getting closer. In the background, through the windscreen, we can see cars flying up in the air. And this is where I'll end the story summary. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed that. I know, don't kill me. It's only my opinion after all, isn't it? But I gotta say, I really enjoyed it, and I wanted to see more of Peter just unleashing his fury on the people who have hurt him over the years. But anyway, here is a preview of the next issue's cover, which is out in 2 weeks, I guess, as usual, twice a month. And guess what, folks? This issue currently, the one I've just reviewed, is the final issue at $3.99. From now on, from next issue, it's going to be $4.99 every time. So that's twice a month, $5 each, $10 a month if you're going to keep buying Amazing Spider-Man. And I've got to say, I'm not sure about this cover. I don't like all the shadow, the silhouette there. You can't see who it is. It's meant to be Spider Goblin or the Green Spider. Anyway, Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Do drop a comment, even to say, Gray, you're crazy. What are you talking about? I'd love to hear from you. Okay, this has been Gray, Wakizashi's Teahouse, signing off for a hot, humid, sweaty night. Matane.